Okay. Testing, testing. Okay, I see the levels to jump in, so I know that. Okay, yeah, let me mute that. Okay, I sound good. Oops. All right. Where were we? Today's today's environment, today's media is just toxic. I woke up this morning with plans to let me turn this music down. Uh Today's topic is the media is toxic. Okay, fix this so I could still want to have some background music. I just don't want it to be too loud. I just want it to be in the background. Let's see here. Just give me 1 second. All right. Yes, today's media is very toxic, and it's so toxic that I can't really seem to focus on what I want to do. Um, the news is just always bad, and what really I was in the midst of trying to go live to talk some tech business on software development. Here, just watch this video, and you probably already seen this video by now. And of course, this is somebody, whoever has this video, they're dissecting the video. Rebel HQ posted an episode. So yeah, this is okay. He said calling the cops on the black neighbors. Okay, so this is the problem that I have with racism. They want to paint this lady right here as the see what she is. Just a scapegoat. She's a scapegoat, and I'm gonna explain why I say she's the scapegoat. Because they want to act like racism, that this is racism. She's calling the and it is. I guess you can say that it's deeper than really, that's more like just hating on somebody because of the color of their skin. You could say that that's racism. But to me, what racism is, what he just said. He referred to the neighbors as black. Soon as you call someone black or call someone white, that is racism. That's racist. That's the core of it. Have you ever tried to get rid of some weeds, right, in your yard, and then you say, you know what, I'll just take my lawnmower and just cut them up, right? What happens? The weeds, they grow back, and they grow, longer and faster than the grass do, and usually the grass has to suffer because of the weeds, right? How do you really get rid of weeds? You have to pull them out from the root. You have to dig deep. You got to dig all the way in the ground, like underground, as tall as that weed. Because the higher you let them tall, the deeper the roots go. So even when you pull them up, right, the roots that you detach them from are still there in the ground, and guess what? They grow anyway. So in order to get rid of them, you really have to just plow the soil, go deep, and pull them. Probably change the soil and everything. Okay, I'm going on and on. The point I'm making is, before I even finish watching the rest of this video, is racism to me is if you identify yourself as a white person or you identify yourself as a black person, you're racist. And that's what racism is. What she's doing is the same thing my baby mama did to me. It's called the police on me just because she ain't like me. What she's doing is the same thing that my other baby mama did to me. I didn't even put my hands on her, and she called the police on me. As a matter of fact, she attacked me with a knife. We were young. I'm not saying she was the only one that was wrong. We were both. It takes two people to tangle, right? But whether I was right or wrong, whether she was right or wrong, that's not the point. The point is, my father has called the police on me to get me arrested. And to go into detail, I took my sister's car. We were all living together. This was after in my first marriage. My wife, she, left me for another man, changed the locks, the whole nine. My mother said, before all of that happened, my mother said, why don't you come live with us? Because she was already talking about leaving. And just to kind of give you paint a picture of my situation. My wife was a dark-skinned woman. I'm not gonna say she was black. She was a dark-skinned woman, rich. Okay. When I say rich, like her skin was rich, like the soil. So my mother's, I guess she saw something bad was gonna happen, so she told me to just leave because my ex-wife wanted me to leave. She said she needed me to leave so she could have, so she could move on because the place was in her name, and that's the only way she could move on and get another place. And instead of fight her, my mom on that and I was like, well, you can get it changed in my name, whatever. Instead of doing all of that, my mother said, you know what? I don't trust her. Just come stay with us. You can save your money. I was working at the time, had my own car, everything. I was self-sufficient before I moved in with my folks. But I was depressed because shortly after, once I came to get my stuff, she changed the locks. Had another man, the man that she left me for, holding my daughter, our 12-month baby. And that tore me up. I called the police just to explain to them that this is that she has no right to do this, changing the locks. But my mother was like, just get your stuff, don't try to fight it or whatever, right? So what does this have to do with what my father did? I know I'm getting to that point. I'm trying to let you know the scenario before I tell you that part, so it doesn't sound like, oh, you stole your sister's car, that's why. No, let's just listen to it. It was a process. We were all religious, and we were Jehovah's Witnesses. Well, I was Jehovah's Witnesses. They still are. And the way it went down was I decided to move in, and mind you, my state of mind was really messed. I was in a state of shock. I was having nightmares every night. I was miserable. At the same time, I was striving to do what I thought was the right thing. Go to the Kingdom Halls, go to work, do what you're supposed to do. One day, my car broke down, and I couldn't get to work without someone giving me a ride to work. And it was my youngest sister. I have two sisters, twin sister and a younger sister. My youngest sister decided, when it was, the first time soon as my car broke down and I needed to take it to the shop, it took. The mechanic told me it was gonna take some time. She decided she wasn't gonna take me to work. Lost my job because of it. But she decided I don't have to take you to work. Lost my job. So at this point, I'm kind of like, man, I'm tired of just doing the right thing all the time, you know. But I'm gonna still do the right try. But I'm getting in my mind. I'm like, I'm starting to get to the point where I'm like, F it, just F everything. And no one tried to help me get custody of my daughter or see my daughter. My parents, they were saying things like, oh, she's probably not even your daughter anyway if she's with this other guy and this, that, and the third. So they didn't look at it like, oh, man, she's got my grandbaby in there. No, it wasn't nothing like that. As a matter of fact, it made me the laughing stock in the household. So here I went from being a young, responsible husband, working, providing for his family, taking him to the Kingdom Hall, studying the Bible with other people, you know, looking to be a pioneer, a minister in the congregation. And suddenly I'm hit with this. And now my car is broke down. I lost my job. And so I got a little bit of money because, you know, I was still getting paychecks. And I said, you know, Candace, my twin sister, I said, can I use your car? You know, I'll fill it up. I just want to go out tonight. And she said no. And I was like, hey, man. I was like, I kind of begged her. I was like, please, like, I don't have, my car is messed up. I'm stuck. You know, I just need to get out, you know, clear my head, and I'll fill the gas tank up. No problem. It's not like I'm going to take your car to, you know, and get it messed up or nothing. I just wanted to, and that's what I did. I basically what I did was I waited for her to go to sleep or go in her room, and I took the keys. I took her car anyway. I knew she wasn't going to use it. I knew she wasn't going nowhere. I took the car anyway. I took the car and I went to, it was not too far up the road. It was like, well, it was far, like walking distance. It was far because, you know, down south, everything is spread out. But considerably, it was not far. It was like, relatively to a southerner, it wasn't far. It was like a hop, skip, and a jump. You take one road, you make a right, you stay on Garners Ferry Road. Everything was on Garners Ferry Road, and there was a club that I always noticed that there was always a lot of people there. Every time I worked around that area, there was always a lot of people, and I never been to a club. Mind you, I'm a Christian, and we don't do stuff like that, right? You're not supposed to go to a club. But this night, I wanted to just get out. So I went to the club. And I ain't gonna lie, that was the first time in my life I really had a lot of fun. I was dancing. I was, you know, I seen this girl from my high school that in high school she didn't look that appealing, but in the club this night she was really appealing, and she was wanting to get with me and stuff like that. But anyway, I felt really good. I really felt good about myself during that moment in time. I really enjoyed myself. I was dancing. I was the music. I just wasn't used to it. I take it back. I have been to clubs before. I take that back. Because I was into music, and I did go to, but not, I didn't go to clubs to party. It was always to like business to try to interact with DJs and stuff like that, and just to learn the atmosphere. And I really didn't care for it. I didn't like it. But it wasn't a party thing. But anyway, in light of what I was experiencing, that was fun for me at that time. A couple of hours, and I forget somehow the number that the girl gave me to go to the hotel room. I guess because I was drinking and I wasn't, I just didn't remember. So I said, well, it's getting late anyway. It's time to go home. I don't want to keep a car out. It was like around like 11 o'clock. So it's not like it was 2 o'clock in the morning and I was partying all night. It was just like a couple of hours. I had some fun, and now it's time to go home. So now, like I promised my sister, I stop at the gas station to fill the car up. And guess who I see? My father pulls up. He must have been driving all up the road back and forth looking for my sister's car, because they literally made a big deal out of me taking her car. And he stops when he sees me, and he was like, what you doing with her car? I said, I just took it. I just took a car. I told her I was gonna take it. She said she didn't want me to take it. I took it anyway. But at least I'm filling the tank up. And I guess he didn't like. I guess I was supposed to say, oh, I'm sorry. I shouldn't have never took the car. Please don't beat me or whatever. But at this time, I'm like, what, 19, 20? Like I said, I got married at 18. So, well, I didn't say, but I was really young. I was 18 when I got married. So, and so at this time, I'm about 19, 20. And so he threatens that he says he called the police already and told them that I stole the car. And then he hit me. I threatened to hit him back. I was like, you try to hit me, I'm gonna hit you back. I didn't hit my father. That's my father. In the heat of the moment, I was hot about it, because I was like, come on, I'm putting gas in her. You see what I'm doing? I'm putting gas in her gas tank. There's no bump. I didn't get in the car accident. I only kept it for a couple of hours. She wasn't using it anyway. Like my sister didn't hardly go nowhere in her car. It used to just sit there a lot of times. She let my brother use, my oldest brother, she let him use it, or anybody else. But for some reason, no, she was. And because I took it without her permission, they decided to call the police on me. This is family. This is my fucking family, yo. And so, in spite of, that's why I told you about the situation that I was going through with my ex-wife and my daughter. I couldn't even see, she wouldn't even let me see my daughter. She came up with this excuse. Oh, he's suicidal. He's crazy. I don't know what he's going to do. And it was her guilty conscience. I wasn't going to do anything but love my daughter like any father would. But they didn't care about my situation at all. And this is my family, okay? This is my father. This is my mother. This is my twin sister. We shared a womb together. This is my youngest sister my younger one sister who decided she wasn't going to take me to work. Do you realize that day I ended up getting kicked out of the house and becoming homeless, living on the street? This is my family. A lot of people would look and like, I have family here in New York City that grew up in the ghetto, like the projects. Like they know they ain't gonna take no offense they grew up in the ghetto. Period. Point blank. Ain't no ifs, ands, buts, or maybes. And They think I had a better life than they had. And I tell them I try to explain to them, no, y'all had a better life than I did. In so many ways. You were close to your mother. Y'all had each other. That's the most beautiful thing in life that you can have, is have your family and y'all all stick together. Y'all might fight and even hit on each other, but at the end of the day, y'all still love each other and y'all still got each other back. Not mine. It's like if something was to happen to me today, 10 years can go by and they wouldn't know that I'm dead. You get what I'm saying? Like, that's how messed up it is. And it's not that my cousins here don't care about me. It's just that they think that they look at me as, oh, he good. They don't expect anything bad to happen to me, so they don't call and check up on me. So if something was to happen to me, and in the company I keep, maybe they'll tell my cousins and that's how they'll find out. But if it wasn't for that, because they don't call to check up on me or nothing, so I call to check up on them. But that's why I say today's environment is so toxic, because even though I'm dealing with what I'm dealing with, a lonely lifestyle of loneliness, and I had my family call the police on me. Not just my family, my wife, my second wife, my mother, my father, my brother. After I got kicked out of their house, I stayed with my brother for a month. I got a job. We agreed to pay. I agreed to pay a certain amount. I paid my amount. He came to me asking me for more money. I said I can only pay what we already agreed on. And he said, well, if you don't, I know you got more money because you just got paid, and if you can't help me out with this bill, then you need to get out of my house. I was like, that's effed up. That's fucked up. That's what I said. That's fucked up, because I just gave you, I don't make that much money. And I just gave you half of the money that I made. And now you want the other half, which will leave me with nothing, just to pay a bill that you won't even pay, because the only people in here that's paying is me and your roommate. You not paying no money at all. And now you trying to bully me because I'm in your house. And so I said, fuck you, fuck your apartment, I'm out. I got my stuff and I left. Do you know that he called the police on me and told them that I'm selling cocaine and I got a gun? How did he figure that? I don't even know. I wasn't selling cocaine. I did have a gun, but I didn't threaten him with it. That gun was for my protection. So why would you tell? It's not like he didn't own guns. He owned way more sophisticated guns. That gun I had to, it was a piece of junk anyway. It was jamming up. I got rid of it. Either way you look at it, why would you call the police on your brother and tell them he's got cocaine and he's got a gun? My brother's 5, mind you, he's 5 years older than me. So what this woman is doing is the same thing he was doing. He was trying to get me shot the fuck up, because that's all you got to do is tell the police that in South Carolina, and they coming at you. And if they don't kill you, they gonna throw the book on you. So why would you do that to your baby brother? Your baby brother. Think about that. That's why I said this racist woman gets hit with. No, she's just a hateful woman. Stop calling her. It's not racist. She's hateful. She probably got problems going on with her Caucasian white, excuse my French, because I'm I'm really trying to stop referring to people as white and black, because that's racist. That's why I say she's the scapegoat so they can continue the racism. And then you got this loving, caring Caucasian woman, right? But can you really say she's not racist because she's being nice about it? Can you really? Can you really? Do you really think that that woman isn't racist? Or she's more racist than that woman? And that what the people, the I don't even know what to call us anymore. You got so many terms, African American, but the darker skinned Americans, they're not black. This is black. This right here, that's black. Nobody is this color. Nobody even is close to this color. This woman clearly isn't close to these white text words right here. These are white. So to call someone a color, or to refer to someone based on their color, is, but the fact that the people that's taking this video clearly are African American, right? The fact that I have to, and I just can't say American, right? But why can't I just, the two Americans they're being racist as well, because they're identifying her as a racist instead of getting to the core of the problem, right? The core of the problem isn't racism. It isn't. It's just racism is the scapegoat they use to facilitate hatred and to conceal it, to conceal racism. But all they're gonna do is go. And then you got this. This isn't. This is what I mean by toxic. Like, I'm tired of seeing news like this, and it's pointing towards racism, but it's not getting to the root issue. What is the root issue? Like, really, what is the root issue? Is it racism? And if it is, how do you change someone's mind from going from hating you because of the color of your skin to not hating you anymore because of the color of your skin? Like, what kind of discussion can you have? What kind of actions can you take that's going to change that? The real issue that people have is loving one another. See, my situation, I got the police called on me with the intent that the police would do something to me, to get rid of me. I wasn't loved. I wasn't loved. If everyone had the same love that I have in my heart, and all it is fairness. If I was God Almighty, I want things to be fair between everyone, like each individual. Fairness. If I'm your neighbor, I want to treat you the same way I want to be treated, with fairness. I don't want to step on your toes. I don't want you to step on mine. I will listen to your side of the story. Listen to my side. Fairness, love. That's what love is. It ain't no nothing extra. And that's the thing. People are willing to do extra, but they won't love. They're willing to go to church every week. They're willing to give up their secular activities for a religious occasion, religious festival, or religious they'll even neglect their own children, blindly neglect their own children for some hope and faith in a God that they cannot see, rather than just love their children, rather than just love one another. They'd rather look for excuses and reasons why they won't love. And it just eats me up when I think about it. That's what's so toxic. That's why I'm talking about this. That's why, because I can just go on and on and on and on and on about it, how this Black Lives Matter movement, and I'm not taking up for Donald Trump and all of that side slideshow. I'm just spitting the facts. I'm just spitting the truth. That those people that's hateful, them Caucasians that's hateful, and listen, they got problems in their own backyard. You know what I'm saying? That's just a cop out. That's just a slideshow or sideshow, whatever you want to call it. Slideshow, sideshow, both. It's a clown show. It's a circus. Because if those people, take this, if those people, those Caucasians truly love one another, they wouldn't have no problem with some other color because somebody got other different skin color. They wouldn't have no problem. They can't even love each other, yet alone love somebody else that don't look quite like them. Somebody got to teach them how to love too. And then for me to go outside and hold up some sign and protest against what the police are doing, or some police are doing. I ain't gonna say, I don't like the stereotype. The individuals who are guilty for killing people for whatever reason, they got to get taught how to love too. Somebody got to show them. Who's going to do that? Jesus? Jesus going to show them how to love? Because he already did. And the people who, I ain't talking about the police who kill unarmed men. I ain't talking about the Caucasians who hate you or want to say mean things to put you down and bully you. I ain't even talking. I'm talking about us collectively as a human race. Not all the African Americans or the dark skin or brown skin or light skinned Americans. I'm talking about all people on the face of this earth. I ain't talking about just the people in UK or just the people in Africa or just the people. I'm talking about people that we don't even know exist. I'm talking about and the ones, I bet you the ones that's off the grid are the ones who probably know how to love, because they ain't caught up in this toxic media that we live in. It's toxic. Everything that they feed in us is hatred, fear, animosity, anger, disappointment, hopelessness. They don't even want you to know that there's a cure for disease. You know, like you get locked up for saying, "Oh, I cured cancer." If you say that, they want to lock you up for that. Where they do that at? Oh, he's a con. So you mean to tell me you lock this person up for claiming that they have a cure for a disease that you don't have, but you won't lock these other cons up for conning people out of their money, or these companies that con you into doing business with them? Why you don't get so offensive with them? It's because it's a show, it's an episode, it's a season, another season, the COVID-19 season. Now it's the Black Lives Matter season. They was already pushing forward for quite some time. Now here we go with shed light on us and make us even more of a target. This is what they do. This is the media turning people against each other, using psychological warfare. And nobody is seeing this. That if you close your eyes and forget about everything, what matters the most to you? Does some person getting shot down matter to you? That's what matters the most to you? Or even better yet, does somebody doing something about it, does that matter the most to you? Because at the end of the day, if something is done about that, right, what are you going to do then? What is going to be your new scapegoat? So you don't have to love your brother or your sister. You get to point the finger at the other. They're worse than me. That's all it is. You get to say they worse than me, so I know Jesus gonna love me. Jesus, I'm going to heaven. No. You must love your enemy. And they are not your enemy. Your enemy is yourself. Yourself. Can't nobody get in your way except for you. Ain't nobody stopping you from doing what you gotta do. Ain't nobody stopping you from handling your business. And if somebody is, then you need to handle your business and do something about that. It's up to us to do something. And I'm not talking about no groups. I'm talking about the whole shebang. You know what I'm saying? I'm talking about every single soul on this planet. Every soul. The hillbilly down the road. The thugs that want to be thugging and gangster. The well-to-do brother. The well-to-do. And when I say brother, I'm talking about all colors. Of all types. Homosexual people. Every single soul has to reckon with the truth at some point. You can hide from it, but it's still gonna come to you, and it's still gonna look you in your face and say, what have you done? What have you done differently? What are you doing that's different from what these people are spewing out into the air? The same video he showed, he highlighted all it, like he was holding up a sign, a Black Lives Matter sign. He's a white guy, the guy who posted that video. This video, the one who posted this, This one, the Rebel HQ, him. And he's got a huge following because of it. You know, oh yeah, he supports black people. And he has this video where he's you couldn't even see what I was showing. But nah, never mind. It's just yeah, it's covered up anyway. Anyway, like I was saying, I could just tell you, basically he was holding up a Black Lives Matter sign, and white people or Caucasian people were coming to stop him and say, oh, they was cussing him out, and this is what you want to highlight. And then he did highlight at the end, one person was like, continue on doing what you doing and supporting the cause. And I'm not knocking this guy for what he's doing. It's just, what bothers me is how everybody's missing the whole point. They go to church and they learn about Jesus, and they don't even understand that it was all to show you how you supposed to treat your fellow man, your fellow sister, no matter what color they is or whatever. He gave you this. He gave us the example of the Samaritan woman, or the Samaritan, something about the man. The Samaritan man got beaten up or something, right? And nobody would help. They just left him for dead. And it took a Samaritan woman that, or man or whatever, came to help this individual, even though that technically they shouldn't, because they wasn't a peoples. In other words, they was another color, another group. And it's like, if somebody's from another group, I don't care about them. I don't even want them around me. Even if I like them, I gotta come up with some kind of false reasoning in my mind of why I like them. Oh, that's because that they different. They not like the others. Like, you get what I'm saying. Like, if I'm a Caucasian and I just love me some Samuel L. Jackson, I'm gonna put some thought in my head, say the only reason why I like him is because he's an Uncle Tom. I gotta tell myself some kind of false imagery, or put some false imagery in my head in order to keep the illusion, or not the illusion, but the delusion of racism that does not exist at all. It doesn't even exist, yo. It ain't even real. Like, you really aren't white. If you really think you're white, something is wrong with you. And chances are you're going to think that something's wrong with me for saying that. You're going to think I'm crazy because I don't follow suit with everyone who does. I'm not going to sit up here and follow suit just because everybody refers to themselves as some kind of color in this country. You mean to tell me now they got this new thing they call black and brown? I ain't even know of that. I ain't know maybe they been saying it. It's new to me. Now you black and brown, and then you got the white. But the black and browns are old. They always like to put them in one group, and then the whites with the, like, oh, this is stupid. When we all bleed blood, we all have a heart that pumps blood through our body. We all have intestines. We all have kidneys, liver. We have brain. We have 5 fingers generally, right? We all have short people. We all have tall people of different colors. We all have fat people. We have skinny people. We all have different diets. It's really the same diet. We need water and certain nutrients to live. Those main nutrients every last one of us need. Right? So this and the truth is, it's a way to hate someone. It's a way to group grew somebody up. If we was all the same color, do you really think we that would change anything? No. Because if you ain't got love, you still gonna find a way to group everybody up. Oh, they got bigger noses than us, so those are the big nose people. Their noses are longer than ours. Those are the long nose people. Those people are short. Those are the short people. Those are the tall people. The tall people think they're bullies. They think they're better than us. So we're gonna show them. We're gonna outsmart them and make some guns and kill them all. It's all about competition and a lack of love. See, if you had love, you wouldn't even come up with this bullshit. I was talking to my sister. She was like, how can you talk about love, but you sound so angry? You sound so. I said, it's not anger, it's passion. Don't confuse anger with passion. You know, don't think that love is just this goody two-shoe ideal. Love is a force that will protect you in the time of need. Love is a force that will protect anyone and care for, because love nurtures. See, we need to understand what it even means to love one another. But really, it's really not hard, because the proof is in the pudding. If you look at the natural relationship of a mother and an infant, that is the embodiment, the personification, the example, the illustration of love. That bond between that mother and that infant. Not the father. Yeah, he loved her, but that is it. That mother would die for that infant. Right? She would the love she has for her baby. To feed it. She'll get up. It's painful. It's stressful. It's emotional sometimes. But in spite of all of those emotions, she's going to put that child first. So if you really dissect that scenario, you see the care. You see the pushing all of the other bullshit aside because I have an infant to feed. I have a mouth to feed. Making sure that I make all my doctor's appointments to make sure that they're healthy, that I'm healthy. A loving and caring mother does that. And then once the child grows, she's caring for, and now the father, the love the father has for the child. Now we can talk about this. Because the mother, her body is made to nurture this child, to love this child. Now the father, he loves differently, right? He's going to give this child some information. He's going to want to teach them some things. He's going to show them some things, want to entertain them, keep them laughing, make sure they have some cool gadgets or something. You know, he's going to work really hard to make sure that his wife and child has a roof over their head. And not just him, the mother too. But because he's built to be strong, he'll figure out a way to build the house if need be. And we just talking about the role model, archetype, right? We're not talking about everyone, every individual, but in this illustration that I'm using of the perfect loving father and a perfect loving mother, if you look at that and say, well, I can take just a little bit of that and use that towards my neighbor. In other words, I'm not going to step on my neighbor's toes, right? Simply because I got respect for him, I got love for them. If my neighbor's house is in danger, I see someone breaking in, or I see it catching on fire, I need to do something about that. I can't just let it burn. That's love. My neighbor decides to maybe they got offended by the way I look, right? I had a facial expression, and they thought that it was hateful and animosity towards them, and they say something towards me that I don't like, and then I say something back to them that they don't like, and we get into an argument. If I have love, don't you know that love will wake me up and say, what the fuck are you doing, man? You gotta nurture love, because that argument, that's the opposite of love. We both have good intentions. We both want to have good intentions. If we had a society that was built upon that principle, the principle of love, there would be no need to have reprimands, and it really wouldn't be a need for law, because no one would break the law of love if everyone followed that. But because we're in a society where people have the freedom to do whatever they want to do, which is good. It's good to have freedom, but their choice is their choice. I just don't want to see that. So I'm just so sick of seeing this on social media, and I feel like Facebook and these other, I feel like they're purposely putting that out there. They're promoting it on purpose, because I don't want to see it. And it seems like the more I say I don't want to see it, the more they push it out there. Like, why is this the first thing I see? I don't even search this kind of stuff this ain't even in my search engine. So why am I popping up seeing all of this toxic media? It's to get us to hate one another. It's to remind you that there's somebody out there that hates you. And 9 times out of 10, the same person that's screaming that they hate black people and they this, that, and the third, or that think they hate black people, who thinks like that, the same person that still might help you, because they still might. In other words, you on the side of the road, bashed up, right? Those same people that was saying, man, fuck niggers and all of this stuff. If there was a African American on the side of the road, beat up, you don't think that a percentage of those same people that was saying, fuck them niggers, won't stop and help them and be like, yo, what's wrong? Somebody get this person to a hospital, because love is powerful, man. And it does exist. It's a force. It's not something that you choose. No, it chooses you. It chose us. So to be stuck on this opposite or opposing force that's evident in our communities around the world, and to believe that that's all there is, when love is all around us. That's the good news. Love is all around us, within us, outside, everywhere. It's in the sky, it's in the ground, it's in the trees, it's in the birds, it's in the bees, it's in the fact that you can plant a seed and it grows. That's love, man. The wind blows at a nice pace, not no hurricane, and even after the hurricane, what happens? Everything subsides. The waters, they subside. People come together, they rebuild. They may grieve over their loved ones because they love them, they miss them. That's love. That's the manifestation of love too. Even when we lose one. I just lost a family member. Get those love hormones raging. Like, man, I miss my Uncle Charles. It reminds me of how important it is to hold on to what we have and appreciate what we have now, because we can't hold on to it forever. We gotta let it go. and move on and transcend and move on to a higher consciousness. And stop staying stuck on this movement of hatred and promoting hatred. That's what they're doing. They're not doing that on purpose. They're promoting hatred. They're saying these people hate us. No, they don't. They don't hate you. They're confused. They're reacting to media. That's what they're doing. Most of the people that was saying, that was, cussing them out, like, how you gonna be holding up a sign, Black Lives Matter, and you're white? White lives matter too. Most of them people, listen, I live with some folks that was not so fortunate, and guess what? They was Caucasian. They were loving people and everything, but they wasn't as fortunate as even I was growing up. I was noticing, like, wow, man, you got some people that are Caucasian that have a hard, rough life amongst themselves. It ain't dark-skinned people making their lives. So they might just be envious to see some successful African American, right? And then they still gotta work a 9 to 5 while LeBron James got all his millions of dollars, and he complain. What you complaining for? See, love is able to look at the person who is ridiculing me and celebrating my demise, and see where he's coming from. Love gives me that ability to do that and say, okay, I see where he coming from. He was raised to be like that. He was bred, he was conditioned that way. But I bet you in the right moment, at the right time, that person got love too. If you wake it up out of them, I'm a firm believer that the more we promote love in this world, the better our society will be. The more we promote love towards loving one another, the better our chances is for survival. We have to, or for growth. We might survive, but are we growing? And stop using religion as a scapegoat. Stop using that stop hiding behind these ideologies. I'm not knocking the Bible. I'm not, because the Bible has, but people feel like if you say religion is bad, then the Bible is bad, because religion comes from the Bible. No. The word religion is not in the Bible. The religion is man-made. So is the Bible. Bible is man-made too. If it was man-made, I should be able to plant a seed and it'll grow into a Bible. All right? That's not man-made. Something that God made is something like a seed. Like, I eat an apple, I know man ain't made this. He could tamper with it, but I know he ain't make it. Man cannot make an apple. You can plant a seed and it grows into an apple, but you can't make it. You understand? It didn't create that. So, yes, the Bible is man-made. So if you look at it like that and understand that it is a tool, and once you can see that, then you could address God on a higher level. And once you can see that you are worthy to do that, and admit that you're worthy to do that, and stop shaming what he has given you as if it's a curse when it's a gift. Life is a gift. Love is a gift. If you can embrace that and know that, then you don't have to fear hell. You don't have to fear that you are displeasing to God. You will know that he put you here. You can't displease him. If you were to displease him, it would be you not accepting the fact that you are here for him to manifest himself to you. Or you are here to manifest yourself to the world. Right? Or just be a shadow. So, and I'm speaking off the top. I'm letting it flow. You know, I'm just on my spiritual vibe, spiritual flow. And I just couldn't code today. I didn't want to play a video game. I didn't want to code. I didn't want to move forward unless I address this issue. I just feel like, man, yo, what's so hard about treating people right? Treating people fair? What's so hard about, like, just letting people be happy? And being happy that other people are happy? How can you enjoy a meal knowing that it's on the back, it came from the back of someone else? How can you sleep at night knowing that your success means someone else's pitfall or someone else's demise? How? Where's your spirit? Where's your love? How can you say that you love anyone? How can you say you love your mother, your son, if you don't have love for your neighbor? How can you when they're just like you? I don't get it. I just don't get it. It's and I get it. There are, like I said, in my own family, in my own hood, in my own neighborhood, on my own block, on my own street, I look at people and sometimes you can look at somebody and be like, man, they trouble, right? Right? Just look at them and just know that I don't want to be around them. That's okay. Don't be around them. Don't be with them. You ain't gotta hate them. You can still love them from a distance. If they in need, they on the side of the road, call the ambulance. You ain't gotta do nothing extra to love somebody. People think that they gotta die for the world like Jesus did in order to prove their love for one another. No, that's not the requirement. The requirement is be fair. Literally be fair and be true. Be true to yourself and to who you are, and be fair. Stop with all of the extraness. All of the extra this and extra that. These rules, these policies. Oh, well, they're there to protect us and protect. How? Protect who? Either way it goes, I feel like I got that out, and that's good. I needed to get my message across, and for those who actually lost someone, my heart goes out to them. I hope that the spirits of those who lost their lives, even my Uncle Charles especially, that they're in a good place. And that the one who has control over the fate of our spirits after we transcend, that as beautiful as this world is, I trust them. I trust that they will be fair, and that they won't be like us and make up excuses on why we can't love one another. Oh, well, every time I talk about this issue with someone, you know what they want to bring up? Well, everybody ain't going to want to. Where's your faith? Everyone has the potential to love. Every single one. Whether they choose to or not, they still have the potential. If we thought like that, everyone would. If we all thought like that, it's just not being promoted. That's why whenever you bring it up, guess what they're going to do? They're going to flip it and say, well, what about this person? What about that person? You can love them? You think you're going to love them? What about the pedophiles? What about them? You think you... This is not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about your neighbor. He just said, love your neighbor. The people that you deal with on a day-to-day. Usually your neighbor is the people in your household. The people in your household. Love them, for crying out loud. And maybe we'll have a better society that will love one another. If you love everybody in your household, it'll be easy to love your neighbor. It'll be easy to see somebody else and be like, because you got love. You've already cultivated it in your heart. So that's just it. Stop with the toxic. I don't want to hear it no more. Tell me something good. I don't want to hear no more bad news. You know. I don't. Tell me that things are going to be better. That just like Martin Luther King had a dream, that's gonna come true. That all people of all nations, all creeds, all nationality, all religions and everything, they gonna just say, one day they just gonna say, fuck it. Let's just love each other. Forget it. Fuck it. Y'all ain't no groups. Ain't no groups. We all one under one God. And our God is love. And we're going to ride that wave for all eternity and change history by doing just that and not wanting to defraud one another, seeing no value in defrauding one another, seeing the value of lifting and cherishing one another. That would be beautiful. I mean, when I think about it, it's just that would be so beautiful to live in a world that's like that. You don't judge someone. You're not looking to judge someone. You're looking to love someone. I ain't talking about sex. We live in such an immoral world that's all. When you talk about love, they wanna dirty it up with sex. Not saying that sex is dirty, but it has its place. You know, that's privacy. My sexual preference should be private. That's my business. You know, and if somebody else has a sexual preference and they want to be flamboyant about it, can you really say that person is loving their neighbor who prefers to be private? Keep that between yourself. You know, if you want to marry the same sex and all of this stuff, that's your business. I ain't gotta know your business. That ain't got nothing to do with love right there. That's just you wanting to impose your will on someone else. That's not love. Now if you want to go out to eat with your mate that's on you. If that makes me feel uncomfortable, you know what I'm gonna do? I'm going to focus on something that's going to make me feel comfortable. And just because I'm not feeling that, right? I'm not feeling that. You know, you can call it a condition or what it is, but I'm just not feeling that. You know, I support loving my neighbor as myself. That's it. Nothing more, nothing less. If my neighbor decides to be some mass murderer, killer, or whatever, that's unfortunate, right? But I don't have to sit up here and gloss over that every time I'm talking love, because chances is my neighbor is not a mass killer. My neighbor is a good guy. He actually likes to talk about Jesus. Actually, he's a loving neighbor. He's actually the perfect example of how we should all be. You know, he calls me up and be like, hey, I ain't heard from you in a while. You know, he cares about the littering. He don't want people littering. So he's like, yeah, I know you don't get paid, but clean it up anyway. You live here. This is your community. That's love. He's right. I could be loveless and say, I don't care. That ain't my business. I don't get paid for that. I ain't put the trash there. Right? I could do that. But what do I gain from that? I don't gain anything. But if I do clean it up, make sure it's nice and clean, I gain peace with my neighbor. My neighbor looks at me and like, that's a good man. That's gaining something. That's a good man. What if I need a favor? What if I've been hearing rumors that they're gonna, you know, they, as in the government or the CIA, whoever it is, who likes to orchestrate these evil events, that they're gonna eventually shut everything down again. It's gonna be worse. It's gonna be food shortages. So you're gonna have to go days without eating. It's gonna be a shortage on water, and people are gonna go mad and want to, you know. If that day comes and I have a good neighbor, he can help me and my family. He might be the one to help me and my family out and say, you know what, that was a good guy. I can't leave him behind. I'm gonna help their family, or he might have something that I need for my family, or it might be vice versa. And I'm like, well, you know, I've been stocking up on some stuff, so, you know, neighbor, if you need anything, I got you. You know. Either way it goes, we have to love one. And that's another thing. If we have love for each other and the government decides to do something shady like that, if you ask me, if they do that, oh, bring it on. Because all that's going to do is prove that we don't need these motherfuckers, man. Bring it on. Bring on the bacon. If they decide to shut everything down and we can't get no water, we can't get no food, don't you realize that we will find a way to survive because of love? That would just prove my point that love will prevail over evil. It'll be some bad things that happen behind it, but love would overshadow it to the point where they'd be like, dang, everything we try has failed. These people prove us wrong. They don't need us. Actually, we in a way of progress. So, like, I'm just saying, but we depend on them because we've been conditioned to. But not trying to get into too far ahead, but just the message is, if we love one another, this toxic media will just go away. I hope it just goes away. I'm sick of it. The bad news after bad news after bad news. I can't go on Facebook without seeing it on Facebook. You turn the news off, then you go face like, dang man, I'm trying to use Facebook as a marketing tool, but this right here, this is like, I don't even know if I want to, like, the people who are watching this, how can I even want to entertain them or connect with them if they're connected to this bull crap? And the comments, what really bothered me mostly was the comments from Caucasians. Oh my God. They were so loveless. They were so, why okay, it's one thing for you to have an opinion about something. Basically, it was a video of these police locking up some dark skin. I mean, they were dark skinned people. Actually closer to this color than you might think, but not. Of course, they wasn't black, but they were dark skinned. They were very dark skinned people. And I was like, oh boy, the police gonna mess with them because of that. And that's what they did. They pull them out the car, search them and everything. And then he manhandled one guy, which I felt was, you know, the guy was like this, like, and he's slamming him to the ground while he's like this. Now, if you slamming somebody to the ground and their arms is out like this, you harassing them. I don't care what warrant they got. They not resisting arrest. They arms is like this. They ain't even trying to break the fall. They scared if they try to break their fall, they might get killed. So, you know, that's one thing I noticed at in a video. But there was this other black girl or dark skinned girl that was videotaping it, and the police didn't like that. So when he started putting cuffs on the dark skinned guy, she started filming closer, and the police was like, you're interfering with the investigation, get back. And she was like, I have right to, you know, to record everything. And so what the police did was move outside of the camera, the police cam, and deal with her. And you can hear her shout and get off of me. And, you know, they stuffed her in the car. That there's no way you could justify and say that was probable cause to treat her like that. She could have been cursing. She could have been whatever. Man, we just gonna do what we two grown men, big men with guns. We just gonna, if this guy got a warrant, we gonna just, of course, we gonna search him, do what we gotta do, and take him to jail, right? This is a chance for us to manhandle them and boom and slam them. Oh, you a black girl too? Just give me a reason so I could. It's almost as if I want a reason to manhandle, and that's what they did, and they locked her up too. And she ain't had nothing to do with. She was just like a bystander, just taking videos. Maybe she knew them or something. I don't know. But the comments, that was one thing. I was like, dang, man, they really don't care about people. To treat someone like that, you really have to be desensitized. You don't care about them being a human being just because of the color of their skin. Because chances is you're not going to treat someone that you know that looks like your family. You're not going to treat them like that unless you've got family issues, right? And but if you grew up in a loving home, you ain't going to treat people like that. But you try to, because I've met some police that's not like that. They nice. They were nice, gentlemen type guys. They wasn't. Then I've met some that they looking to do something to you, say something so I could do something to you. Like they're criminals and hateful, no love in their heart. You know what I'm saying? And that's one thing. But what really bothered me the most was the comments from the Caucasians. And it seemed like that's the only ones who would comment. No, I didn't see any comments. It was a bunch of comments, but it was so many. All I saw was from Caucasians. Good. They were celebrating like that's what you get for talking back to the police. That's what you get for giving the police a hard time, and that's what you get for this, and that's what nobody saw that was harassment. Nobody saw that the police officer could have did a better. Nobody even said, well, the police could have did a better job. They didn't deal with that. They didn't deal with that situation like men. They almost it gave me the impression that a lot of Caucasians feel like us as colored people, dark-skinned people, just because we have a darker skin, that we don't deserve any rights, that we no human rights, that we're looked at as animals, or actually less than animals. It's almost as if they really do hate us. Because you gotta hate someone to not see, to watch a video of them being harassed, and not just harassing anyone. They were harassing the girl. They were slamming her. You can hear it. You couldn't see it, but you can hear it. She's like, "Get off of me," and they slamming her, trying to stuff her in the car. And when all she had was a phone. Okay, go ahead, record us. Big deal. We gonna do our job. Even if she gets irate and cusses at you, right? You got the right to lock her up. But come on, man. She's a female. I'm just gonna put these dude. He got a warrant. I'm gonna just lock him up. And they came out looking for trouble. That's the thing. That's what I noticed. But these Caucasians who were commenting, all they could see was, you're not supposed to talk to the police like this. You're not supposed to deal with the police like this. You're not looking at the fact that, yo, they just pulling these kids over just because they were dark skinned. That's it. And if they had a warrant, see, I know for a fact that when you have a warrant, they gonna lock you. They locking you up. Period. They're gonna put you in the back, and they gonna lock, and they gonna say, "Come, you got a warrant. Come on, come with us." They might call for another. They might. Of course, they gotta search your pockets, but before they put you in a vehicle. But that's not what that's not what these officers was doing. They was pulling him over, seeing that he didn't have a warrant, and was patting him down, hoping that looking for a reason to lock them up. They ain't had no reason to pull him over in the first place. They pulled him over because they were dark skinned. That was clear evident. Simply because of the way they were treating them. Because one of them, he wasn't doing that. He was just cooperating. The other one, he was talking like, "Yo, what? I ain't got nothing on me. Go ahead, search me, whatever." And the girl, she was videotaping, and she stepped back. I saw it. She cooperated. She stepped back and was videotaping. She wasn't being nasty with them. And then she gets close to the video. She gets close. The only reason why she gets closer because she see the cop is starting to put cuffs on the guy. Looking like, I think this is what they was going to do. They was going to charge him with resisting arrest when he wasn't even resisting. This is what I'm talking about. And to have comments like, the one that was, they spoke good. They spoke good of the one that was just, he ain't say nothing. He was just like, and I ain't gonna lie, that's what I would have did. I wouldn't have said nothing. I would have been like, either you gonna take me to jail or what? You know what I'm saying? I would just be like, either you gonna take me to jail or I don't know why you pulling me over. I don't know what's going on. I might have said something like that. what is this about? Why are you detaining me? You know, and sometimes it's best not to even say that, because they'll get nasty with you if they're nasty. And these people were laughing at this as if that's like, now imagine if that was their children. Do you think they would be it'd be a different story. It'd be like, these police were harassing them from the jump. They ain't had no business pulling them over. Then they would have said they were cooperating, and they still locked them up for resisting arrest. Then they would have said their Caucasian sister or friend or neighbor, they harassed her. What? They stuffed her in the back of the, charged her with what? Interfering with an investigation? What investigation? What are you investigating? To see if this person is a criminal when there is no report of them being a criminal? Why? Why are you doing that? That's discriminating. Period. Point blank. They ain't giving you no signs of trouble, but you looking for trouble. That in itself is harassing. When they pull people over for traffic stops, it's supposed to be for based on traffic, like making sure you're not speeding, making sure you got your blinkers on and things like that. Not to see what's inside your car, to see if you a criminal, see if you sell drugs, to see if you. That's not what they supposed to, but that's what they do. That's not right. That's not even constitutional. Because then that means they got the right to pull anybody over and do it, when really they're really to serve us. But they're not really to serve us. So it's hatred everywhere you go. It's toxic hatred, and they think that's funny. They they celebrating. If they had some dude being lynched, they probably laugh at that. Like, good. One less one of them. It's sad on their part though, because I'm still happy with who I am, right? I'm fine with who I am. I don't want to be nothing different outside of that, you know. So if that's how you are, where you celebrate, you enjoy someone else's misery or someone else's suffering, if you enjoy that, whatever you got coming to you, that's why I feel sorry for you, because you got a rude awakening. Because I know for a fact this universe that we live in is got a way of making you reckon with yourself. You made a choice in life that wasn't a good choice, it will remind you that you did not make a good choice. While you're hating on these people, your own people will be hating on you. It just ain't good. So these videos, when you see a pop up of these videos, don't watch them. Don't watch them. Don't watch them. That's it. That's all I got for these haters. Other than that, after that, it's just Ubio Studio and I just talk love.